Hello, let's do the New York Times Hard Sudoku for July 26th, 2024. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. All right, looking for duplicates first. So we have two threes here looking in. This three looks up. That places the three in this box. Let's follow up on that three real quick, just in case there's something interesting. Doesn't look like it. I guess we do have these threes as well. And then these threes look down, placing this three. So it looks like we just have two threes left, forming this rectangle. Very nice. All right, good follow-up there. Eights, there are no other eights of note. The only other eight that I can see that would help is this one, and it touches the same and only cell that this one touches here. Okay, so nothing with the eight. We have the one and the five. The one does have a buddy. No one's down here to help, so one's one of these two. Three we took care of. Five looks in here. It does put a five in one of these two cells. Might come in handy later. Okay. Is there anything special about this box? I think it's worth marking up. So we have the 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay. I'm actually going to write that all out. I think this cell's going to have all of them, but 4, 5, 7, 8. Yeah, so this can't be 4 or 5. 5 sees this whole row. We had that marked. This sees both of these eights. As I mentioned earlier, this can be any of them. I don't mark 4. And I had a question about why I don't mark 4. Well, first of all, it's a lot of clutter. It's a lot of things sort of getting in the way of scanning. But also, in this level of difficulty of Sudoku, you only ever need to find triples. So marking 4 is just literally just making it harder to spot those triples. So not really any good reason to mark 4. In really advanced puzzles, you may end up just marking the whole grid, but you would still start by being sparse in your markings, and then you would go fully marked when you've proven, okay, yeah, really, I'm going to have to look for much more advanced stuff. Okay, so that might be it for the band. Okay, let's move on to the next band here. We do have, I'm going to ignore threes because we're done with threes, basically. We have these two fours looking in here, so this 4 is up here. Just the 7. Okay, but the 7 does cross this 3, 8. So we have the 7 looking in here and this 7 looking up here. That does put 7 in one of these two. Whenever you find a crossing like this, and what I would call a crossing is when you have two givens that share a row or column. In this case, they share a row. So anytime I say row, you could also swap that with column, right? So these two share a row and they're missing one cell, right? The row's not filled. So that missing cell, we want to look at that column. Because these share a row, we want to look at that column. And we can see that we have the 7 that has not yet been placed in the box. The 3 and the 8 have already placed, so we don't care about those. So the 7, you can see, crosses in front of this 3, 8, right? It doesn't touch the 3, 8, so it touches the column that they aren't in. And so then in addition to that, we look over here, we look at these two rows that the 3 aren't in. We want another 7 that doesn't touch the 3, 8, and here we go. And so that's 5 cells that don't touch the 3, 8, that can't be 7, and then 3 and 8 also aren't 7. So that's going to be a total of 7 cells that can't be that digit, leaving only up to 2 cells that can be that digit. And those 2 cells are going to share a row or a column. And so in this case, they share a row, and so or it's going to be a single, in which case that also is helpful. And so these point. Right, you're going to get pointing out of it. At worst, it's going to be pointing. At best, you're going to find a hidden single. So these 7s point in here. This 7 looks in here, and we get the 7s down here. So always follow up on the pointing you find from that. Okay, so we also have this 3, 4, 7. I'm always want to be looking on the lookout for geometry, as I call it. So 3, 4, 7 here. If you just sort of ignore the digits, right? Just ignore what digits are there. Just look at the shape of it. And look at the shape of this in the column they aren't in. So if you sort of ignore the digits for a second, you go, there's 3 here that can't be here, and then there's 2 more digits here that can't be those digits. Now here's where you have to reveal and go, okay, well actually, are any of those digits matching, right? None of the digits match, so we're good so far. So we have 4 places left to have 3, 4, 7, and so now what we're hopeful for in finding is that 3, 4, 7 can't be in one of the cells. And unfortunately, we don't have that. So we don't get a hidden triple out of that. But here, we could potentially get that, right? There's only 3 remaining. But unfortunately, we already have a 3 and a 4 in the row. So the only thing that could be interesting is the 7. We already have that marked in the row. So anyway, thought I'd point out just kind of how you might want to think about geometry there. This 3 and 4, again, I'm comparing against here. It looked promising. We already had a 3. In fact, we already know everything about 3s pretty much. But this 4 potentially could have been good if one of these couldn't be 4, but unfortunately they both can be. So I thought I'd point out how I scanned these things, didn't find something, but that I am always actively scanning for it, which makes it a little bit less magical when I find something helpful. Okay, I think that's it for this band. Let's move on to the next band here. So we have the 8 and the 9. The 9 does have a buddy, and that does just place the 9 here. Looking vertically to see if the 9's helpful, it doesn't seem to be. The 8 doesn't have a buddy, but this is filled, right? So the 8 does remove 8 from 3 cells in here, and it does mean that 8's up here somewhere. So that's going to point in. This 8's going to look down. This is filled. Also, this 8 helps. Would have helped if it wasn't filled. And so that actually places the 8 in this box. Very nice. Not necessarily easy to see. I mean, the other way to see that if you didn't find the pointing gates here is to look at this row. How 8 couldn't be here, and it couldn't be here or here. So this was the 8 for the row. There's usually some corollary like that. Now, this is very open here, so I'm very curious about crossings. So we can look at the 2, we can look at the 6, and that's it. 8, 9, and 3 we already know about. So 2 and 6 looking in here, we want to find a 2 or a 6 up here. The 2, unfortunately, is in line with the 9, 8, so it doesn't help, but the 6 is helpful. So we do have these 6s looking in here. That puts a 6 in one of these 2. That does point. Remember, always follow up with the pointing. Puts a 6 in one of these 3, and that should remind us that these can't be 6 when we go to pencil stuff. If we go to pencil stuff. Okay, the other thing I'm seeing is that we want to make sure that we caught everything that looks into this box that isn't 2, 6, or 9 from here, right? So we don't care about empty cells. We don't care about 9s. We already found the 8s. We don't care about 8s. So we don't care about the 2. So 5 and 7, we need to make sure we follow up on here. So the 5 looks in here. That puts a 5 in one of these 2. We have this 5 helping. And again, that is going to mean that one of these is 5. And then we also have the 7 looking in. 7's in one of these 2. That points in here along with this 7, and it's going to put a 7 in one of these 3. So what this is really telling me is this is down to at most 2 digits, right? Because the row needs 4 digits. 5 and 7 are 2 of them, and they don't go here. I'm just going to look at the whole box, though, at once. We need the 1, 4, and 6. So we can see this can't be 6. This was down to 1, 4, as I predicted. And these are 1, 4, 6, meaning the 6 is up here somewhere. So if the 6 is in one of these 2, that means this cannot be a 6. And I had that marked as a possible 6. So that can't be a 6 because 6 points from this box here. And that leaves just here for a 6. You can also see that was the only place for 6 in the row. Again, there's usually some kind of corollary like that. You can find these techniques in multiple ways. Because they are correct, they will all agree. So every logical way of finding it will agree to the result. All right, 1, 4, 5, 7 is what's over here. This can't be 1 or 4, so it is only 5, 7. These can be any of 1, 4, 5, 7, so I'm not going to bother marking those. Yeah, these pointing 6s were quite helpful. Let's see. So we got this 6. We already had these marked. Okay. Is there anything else to find here? It felt very fruitful. I'm going to look at this row, which is down to 4 digits. We need the 1, 3, 4, and 5. This cannot be 1 or 3, so this is 4, 5. This can't be 3 or 4, so this is 1, 5. This can't be 5, so this is 1, 3, 4. And this can't be 1 or 4, so this is 3, 5. That's interestingly limited. That does mean the 4 is in one of these 2 cells, which I had not caught earlier. I don't think it does anything immediately. Lots of corner marks going on here. What isn't corner marked? The 1 is not corner marked. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's just the 1 that's not corner marked. So we know that so we've accounted for everything, right? We have other than the 1, we have the 3. I'm going to count on my fingers. 3. Actually, let's count the cells. We have 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So that's 5 out of the 6 cells. We know 1 is going to be the final one. Obviously not where I clicked them, but it's a good way of counting to make sure you get the correct count without having to use your fingers. So anyway, that means that every single one of these cells, I could center mark with 1 plus its corner mark. This is 1 or 8. This actually can't be 1, so it is only 7, 8. This can be 1, 3, 7, 8, so we're not going to mark it. So nice little trick there. Just make sure that that's the case. You don't want to miss a digit. But yeah, it might be easier just to enumerate them again. But this cell here isn't 3, 5, or 7 in addition to 6, 8, or 9. So it is down to at most 3 digits. So we do need a 1, we need a 2. We can't be 3. We could be a 4. Can't be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So I was right. It is down to 1, 2, 4. No reason I wouldn't have been right. All right. Let's actually just look at this stack now. I think I focused way too much on this band, to be honest. We've got this the 3s we know about already. The 4 doesn't have a buddy. We've got the 6, 8, and 9. So we do have these 2 9s that I haven't marked up yet. There's a 9, one of these 2. The 8 is interesting. Okay, not interesting enough. Because I thought it was interesting because we have this 8 helping, but that might be all we get. Let's move on to the next stack here. So I've got 2, 6, and 9, which have no buddies up here. So we just need to compare these two. 3s we already knew about. 4, 7. Okay, so no buddies to speak of here. The 4 and 7 looking in here is a little bit suspicious to me, but not. It's just not. Except 4, 7, 9, I guess I should say. So we're looking for 4s, 7s, or 9s helping out here. The 9 does help, so that does actually reduce 9 to 2 places here, so we can mark that. 1 and 5. See, it's down to 3 places, right? If this couldn't be 1, 5, for example, we'd be off to the races, but unfortunately it can be, so they can escape to this cell. I'm trying to get anything I can out of this stack, but I don't think I can, so let's just move on. 8s are done in this stack, 3s are done in this stack. That's all we've got. Did I miss any crossings here? 1, 3, 6. So the 3 you don't care about. 1 we already have marked. 6s. There is no 6 down here. Okay, so I didn't miss anything. All right, so clearly I did miss something though, because I just finished my first round of scanning, and we're clearly not done with the puzzle. So I'm gonna go box by box, make sure I didn't miss anything obvious. Sometimes like I'll have a corner mark and I just didn't respect it. I don't think that's the case because I didn't really center mark very much this time around. I mean, I didn't center mark very. I mean, like most of these boxes have no center marks in them at all. It's kind of what I'm talking about there. So this is still 4, 5, 7, 8. Is there anything I can learn about that? Not really. This box we just have the 9s marked. Yeah, I'm not even sure what I'm looking for here, given how sparsely marked these are. I guess this cell can't be 6, 7, or 9, in addition to 3, 4. That's not that many. Let's just confirm there isn't anything else peeking in here to help. So this could be 1, 2, 5, and 8. Yeah, it's all 4 of those. 1, 2, 5, 8. Not helpful. Sorry. The hazards of having a beard is sometimes you get a beard hair in your mouth. All right, it is taken care of now. Let's see. More info than you needed to know. This 2 looking in. Okay, I'm really not seeing this box. I want something to be happening with this box, with this formation here, but it's just not doing anything. Okay. This box here, we have the 4 and 7 marked. That's not super exciting. Okay, nothing really going on with that I can tell. Maybe there is something down here that I missed. Let's see, and remember I got this 6. We've got the 1, 3, 5, 4, 5 in this row. We've got the 1, 4, 5, 7 in this row. Interesting. 1, 4, 6, 1, 2, 4. I wonder if this cell is restricted, because it can't be 1 or 4, which the row does need. And it can't be 8. Can't be 6. Okay, let's take a look. So it can't be 1. It could be 2 or 3. It can't be 4, 5, 6. It can't be 7. We have those marked here and here. Can't be 8 or 9. So it is only 2, 3. Okay, that is more restricted than I expected. Can I do something with the 2, 3 though? That is the question. I'm not sure that I can at the moment. Is 2 limited? 2 is limited in this row. I missed that. I missed the buddy 2 somehow. So 2 is here. I guess because there's buddy 2s, it's not as exciting as I hoped. So I think I already looked, and this can be 4 digits. This can be 1, 3, 7, 8. So anything with this that I missed. So this row is like super marked up. Like every cell is interestingly restricted, but we only have the 5 and 9 placed. That is suspicious to me, but maybe it doesn't mean anything. 1, 2. I'm just gonna go through every digit. The 1 can be in a bunch of places. The 2 already is marked. The 3, we already know there's just these 3s left. The 4 can be in a few places, including here. No, not here. Sorry. The 4 is in these places. 5 is placed. 6 can be here. We have that marked. 7 is here. We have that marked. 8 is here. And then 9 is placed. Yeah, there's nothing to do there. Oops. Okay. I'm trying to find something to do here. Oh, we have the 5s marked here, and I have 5 center marked there. That's the issue. So that's supposed to be a 3. All right, that'll help a lot. So that's a 3. That's a 3. That removed a 7 corner mark, which removed an 8 corner mark. This can't be 3 anymore. We get our 2 here as well. Okay, yeah. Ignoring my corner, it was so busy down here. I'm not surprised, but I just had to take a very close look at all my corner marks. 1, 4, 5, 7. I don't think I want to mark that still. All right, so what did we get? We got the 3s finished, which is fine, but there's not much to follow up there. We do have these 2s now. Puts a 2 here. We got the 3, which I just talked about. We got the 7 and the 8 here. So these 7s look up. Does the 8 do anything? Actually, the 8 does do something. Remember these corner mark 9s we put in here? The 8 joins it, right? We have these 8s doing this. So if 8's in one of these two, that forms a hidden 8-9 pair here. Notice how the 8s and the 9s exactly overlap. And you go, well, what about that 7? Well, that's the cool part. It can't actually be 7 anymore because it has to be 8. This has to be an 8-9 pair so that we can fit both 8 and 9 in the box, which does push 7 out to only be here. Very, very neat how that works out. That leaves a triple behind here. We're going to fill that out. We need a 2, we need a 4, and then the final digit goes here because this can't be 2 or 4. Whatever it is. It's a 6, I think. So that's our 6, that's our 2, that's our 4. Very nice. Yeah, we could have seen the 4 looking in, placing that 4 as well. That places the 5 here. This is 4, 7, 8. We'll mark that. That does mean that 4 is in one of these two, which is going to point down, making this a 1 only. That makes that a 1 as well for the box. That places the something we got. I guess it was this 4 here. Also placed the 5, 1, and 4 down here. This can't be 5 anymore. Not super exciting, but it is a triple. Looks like it's 4, 5, 7. It's not a 5 again. You don't need the corner marks. All right, much cleaner now. I think, let's see. I think we just follow up on the stuff we just got. So this column just finishes with a digit. Let's find out which one. Looks like it's the 5. Okay, so I'm going to think about what this box needs. That's probably the cleanest way to finish up this stack. We'll start with this column because we know it's 8, 9, and something. 2, 8, 9, it looks like. Oops. 2, 8, 9. That's not an 8. 2 ends up over here. And then this is a quad. Let's think about it. We need a 1, 1, 6, 8, 9. I actually don't know anything about 1, 6, 8, 9. Other than this 8. This is 1, 6, 9. Okay. That's unfortunate. Okay, how about over here then? This is a pair. We need a 2, which actually is placed, which places the something. The 6. Okay. Down here, ooh, this is 5 left. This is 5 left. Maybe there's... See, I got the 2 and the 6. Let's follow up on those. We have these 2s looking in. Puts a 2 over here somewhere. You got the 6 as well. We don't know where the 6 is, though. This puzzle's holding on, but I probably don't have the right stuff penciled. 5, 7, 8, 9. Can't be 7. This is 5, 8, 9. This can be any of them. How about over here? We need 1, 4, 6, 7. So this can't be 7. This is 1, 4, 6. Can't be... Oh, 4, actually. There we go. 4 in this column can only go here. Oh, we had these pointing 4s and I ignored it. Okay, so that's a 4. When I penciled this, I thought there was something about 4s, but then I didn't actually check. So this is 1, 6, 7. So we need a 7 in this column, and these corner marks tell us they can't be here or here. So this is where the 7 goes. And we're left with a 1, 6 pair here. Don't need the 6s marked. So these are 2, 5, 8, 9. These can't be 9. So these are 2, 5, 8. And this can't be the 5 or the 8. So that's our 2. That places the 9 here. And the 2 in here. That places the 2 here. 2s are done. We get our 8 and our 9 resolved here. That's 7, 4, and 8. Get the 5 and the 7. We get the 5 here as well. We're left with an 8, 9 pair. Okay. This is a triple now. We need 1, 6, 8. All right. This is 1 or 6 as well, but it can't be 1. So we get the 6, we get the 1. These are not 1s. We get our 4 and our 6 here. That can't be 4. This column finishes with a 5 and a 9. That's 5, that's 9. We get our 8, 9, 6, 8, 1, 6. Now we're just finishing. Let's just think about what each box needs. The box needs a 1, which is here. We have the 2, 3. The box needs a 4, which is here. We have 5, 6. Box needs a 7, which goes up here. And then we need a 9, which goes down here. But this 9 tells us the order. So that's 1 and 9. Here, the box does need a 1, which goes here. Actually only goes there, giving us the 7, giving us 4 and 7, giving us 4 and 5, and we're done. Wow, that took a while. Yeah, it's because I ignored my own corner marks, which is a problem. Would have gone much faster if when I penciled this cell, I had noticed that I had 5s corner marked all over the place. So yeah, imperfect, unfortunately, but that's just how it goes. Maybe it was helpful to see what I do when I get stuck. You just got to really focus on the stuff you already found. Make sure you didn't miss anything. I go box by box and just really double check, especially focusing on the corner marks. Eventually I found it. I think when you have so many markings like I did down here, it can be really hard to just sit and like focus on one at a time. It can be very difficult because there's so much going on. And I did struggle with that as well. So just something to keep in mind when you're marking up so much, that it can be very easy to miss the needle in the haystack there. You want to build the smallest haystack you can so that the needles stand out. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.